All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So I guess it shouldn't be a surprise that this device is good. It really shouldn't. And apparently a lot of you guys have it, you know what I mean? So I can see your comments. I can see your posts saying, hey, I love it. It's been fantastic so far. And it's a really solid device. Now, you can get this device at some really good prices. If you're one of those people that want to just pay outright, wirelessplace.com has it for $360 for the 128 6 gig version, which is what this is. And then they also have the 8 gig 256 gig version for just $20 more. Or you can get it from Samsung and pay full price of $450. I'll leave links down below so you can check that out for both. But nonetheless, it shouldn't be a surprise that this is a great device, and it is much better than the Samsung Galaxy A53. That was a catch and release for me, and I was surprised because the A series is the truth. You know what I'm saying? The A series has always been that hidden jewel that a lot of people just didn't rock with or didn't know about. So this has 60 gigs of RAM, 120 gigs of storage, 50 megapixel shooter on the back. I've already shown you the camera footage from here. I got a camera review up already. More importantly, this has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, folks, and a 6.4 inch display. So I changed the wallpaper to this kind of lighter wallpaper so you can see the bezels around it. And by the way, I'm recording with the Samsung Galaxy S23 Plus. So check that when you look at the quality and the microphones and everything. So how's this device been? Well, it has been phenomenal, folks. You hear me say that a lot, but the thing is, folks, phones are getting really good and you don't have to spend a lot of money. This is the equivalent of the phone I'm recording with for a lot less money. It's just that simple. So you want that out? I always talk about with companies. This is Samsung's out. If you want a fairly big screen with a ginormous battery and stellar performance with all the bells and goodies, I mean, everything that's on the other side. I mean, One UI 5.1 is loaded. You know what I mean? So you're getting it all here. Now, some people shook a leg at the processor. Well, the processor on here, I haven't noticed anything. I haven't noticed anything bad about this processor. It's the Exynos processor. It's the Exynos 1380 or something like that. But this is a 5 nanometer chip, folks. This is a flagship chip, basically. Yeah, this is what it is. So a lot of people feel some type of way about this chip right here. Shout out to BG Tech Light. Jojo, shout out to Jojo. Ike, Barry, shout out to GG. I gotta get out of my Twitter line. I'll be shouting everybody out. Shout out to the crew. But a lot of people feel some type of way about this processor, and I say, you know what I'm saying, like from experience, it's okay. It's not the same experience that you get on some of the other Exynos processors. So don't think about it that way. And that's really only the tech enthusiasts planting that seed. Regular consumers, they're not buying this device saying, does it have the Exynos processor? They're not doing that. They're just saying, I hope it works good. I hope it's smooth and things like that. Are the cameras good? That's probably the main thing, cameras and battery. Battery should be at the top of your list along with performance. Then maybe, I mean, obviously price, but you want to make sure it's going to work on your network and everything like that. But overall, folks, the processor on here is absolutely great. I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. I just don't. I've been using this with social media, and I've been using it with a lot of camera footage, and I've been using it with lots of media consumption because it has really decent stereo speakers and the screen is beautiful. I showed you in the initial video versus the phone I'm recording with. The bezels are uniform. This is a 6.4 inch display. And while the S23 Plus has a bigger screen and thinner bezels around the screen, it doesn't matter. This is still a phenomenal choice. This also costs about half the price. You know what I mean? So you're getting it all there. This is a Super AMOLED 120 hertz display. Let me make sure I even switched it to I don't even recall if I switched it to the 120 hertz. I'm sure I probably did. Yeah, adaptive smooth. Okay, I was about to say, I know I put it on there. But this has 120 hertz this refresh rate, folks. This is HDR10 plus. 1,000 nits. 1,000 of them for $400. It's looking pretty good. And this has an SD card. A lot of people want that SD card. This has it. Period. This has it. Now, Software is good. The options are great. One UI 5 is great. But something that shocked me in my camera review is that while this has that 50 megapixel shooter, the portrait video is non-existent, and then portrait shots with the rear don't look as good as the front. The front has a 32 megapixel camera, and I was kind of surprised at that. When I hit on more over here, I was looking for portrait video, and it is non-existent. This phone, for some reason, is it a limitation of the processor? Probably, yeah. But I don't see how that could be, because this is a 5nm chip, and it is a powerful processor. They just, for some reason, left it out. Now, the only thing I can blame it on is the processor. You also don't get 4K 60. You get 4K 30. So again, I'm thinking this is just the limitations of the processor. I'm thinking that's just what it is. And so those few things right there, when it came to the camera, I was kind of shocked. I was shocked. I was like, wow, so you can't do 4K 60 on the front or the rear, and you don't have portrait video or director's view. Strange. Now, I guess it's an upside that the camera's on the front. The 32 megapixel shooter on the front, folks, the pictures look great, man. I mean, they are solid. No freaking complaints. The rear has good video and good cameras and everything, but the front got a serious bump. I mean, when you look at the A53, this phone is beating up on it. I kind of wish I still had the A53 so I can show you how bad it is compared to this, but no, I had to save that cash. So those few things when it came to the camera surprised me. Like, whoa, the front camera takes good portrait shots, but the rear camera takes great photos as well. Now, I put it in 50 megapixel shooter mode. When doing that, you have to go in here and turn it on. It doesn't stay by default, but you have to go in there and turn it on when you want to take a 50 megapixel shot. It's just what it is. The cameras are really good on here, and I know we're in a social media age, and the cameras are good. The cameras are solid. I'm gonna go in here and show you. Like, here is the shot I'm talking about. So that's the front. That's the rear. All of the portrait shots on the rear seemed a little flat. And this had the front had better definition, better tones, everything. I just stood in the same spot, took the photo. I mean, I held it at a different angle or whatever, but this looks much better, right? I think it's because it's darker or whatever, and it really gets the focus in there. I really, really like it, man. And as far as photos go, I mean, they all come out great. This camera has some, I mean, look at the detail on it. That is really nice, man. This is a great 50 megapixel shot. Let's actually get in real close. You can see. This is a pretty decent camera, man. When you consider the price, this is a really solid camera. And in today's world, like I said, I mean, and this is a 50 megapixel shot, so you can see the immediate portrait effect. This isn't a portrait shot. This is all 50 megapixel shots. The only portrait shots I took were of me, those two. That's it. The rest of these are just regular photos taken. This one has a lot of detail, man. Look at the detail on that. That's a great shot. That's great, man. Again, all 50 megapixel shots. So I'm thinking, you know, Samsung has a winner here. They have a freaking winner. This is just great. These are some great shots. Love the color representation on here, man. That's beautiful. Beautiful. So Samsung has a winner here. Finally, the A line in the US is looking pretty tight. You know, having this for a week or so, you're not even have to worry about battery life. You don't have to worry about battery life at all. I mean, I've been recording for roughly 10 minutes or so, and it dropped 1%. So when you turn on the camera, though, when you use the camera on a device, the battery life decreases much faster than it normally would for other activities. But what I can tell you is, folks, you will not be disappointed with these cameras, especially the front camera. Ladies, if you want to take all those selfies and stuff like that, you don't have to use the rear. The front camera will get it done for you. Not a lot of fellas take selfies. I do it only, I don't even like to take photos, believe it or not. For those that have been following me long enough, I don't like to take photos. I don't like to be in photos. I don't mind taking it for somebody, but I don't want to be in a photo. But for the purposes of creation and YouTube and social media, that's the only reason I do it. But the front camera on here is beast mode, ladies. If you're into a whole bunch of selfies, you're gonna get it done with this, man. Now, cameras, price, software, performance, the hardware. This looks like a Samsung Galaxy S23. It's just plastic. I mean, this is what they were going for, and I'm okay with that. Who cares? I mean, it's got a glass front and a glass back, but it's got a plastic frame. So who cares? You don't care. It's actually flat around the sides. I just didn't take the protective film off. Sometimes I do that, so you can see it's flat right there. You can see the protective film right there. But I don't sometimes take that off. I just let it fall off naturally to help get a little bit of protection, you know what I'm saying? Because I haven't been using a case or anything. But nonetheless, the hardware on there, if you were interested in the S23 lineup, you can get one with the A lineup. You can get it. They decided to make it all the same. Now, somebody asked a question. They said, Jay, is the A53 better than was it the Pixel 7? Let me see here. I think it was the Pixel 7. Well, the answer is, no, the hardware is much better on the Pixel 7. And I would probably, as far as price goes, this is the phone it's pretty much competing with, but the hardware is better on the 6A and the 7, obviously. This looks better. I got skin on that, obviously. SophieGuard.com, that's where I get the skins from. This looks better. The blacks are a lot deeper. You got that metal camera band. This is just a much sexier device in general, folks. This is a sweet freaking device, period. The 7 has good battery, but not as good as the A54. Performance is better on the 7 because the Tensor chip is, it's broken down. It's broken in pretty good. And this Exynos 1380, I don't know much about it, if I'm being honest. This feels more premium in the hand. It looks better. It just feels great, man. It's just a good look. I think that the Pixel 7s definitely, they definitely perform better and they look better. Because somebody asked me, what's the better phone? Well, I can tell you that's just all my personal preference right there. It's subjective. You have to get it, play with it, see how you like it, and you can determine which hardware is better, which software is better, which cameras are better. That's up to you. You got to do that. But I can tell you the same old story, how it goes. Nothing is touching the Pixel when it comes to taking photos right now. As far as these Samsung devices, they just can't. The Pixel the algorithm and the AI and the Pixels just do better. It's just what it is. It's just how it is. It's just better. But that doesn't mean this is a slouch. Not at all. Don't think about it. This is a phenomenal device. It has better battery life than those Pixels. It's matching the 6A, I would say, probably. Yeah. And it's not the size of the battery. I'm talking about the total experience with a battery. It's matching the 6A. The 6A has killer battery. I mean, killer battery. 6A is the truth when it comes to the battery. So, I love this device, man. Do you remember this is my phone of the year? Remember? Some people still can't believe that, but it is. It's the truth. But yeah, it's matching the battery life on the 6A. And, it's a lot bigger than the 6A. It feels bulkier in the hand than the 6A. But this is a good one. The fingerprint reader is good. Oh, let me put in we got our generic code. I think we do. Yeah. Let's check the fingerprint reader. Fingerprint reader is decent. It's good. Fairly good overall. So I think Samsung has a winner here. They may have those little quirks and kinks in the camera software right now that I don't like. But when you think about this for just a second, let's just think about this for just a minute, folks. Let's just consider this. I'm talking about a 50 megapixel shooter on the rear. Ultra wide camera, zoom lens, 5,000 milliamp battery, Super AMOLED, 120 hertz, HDR10 display. The Pixels, they're good, but I don't think they're rocking specs like that. But the limitations come with that processor. They come with the processor. You've got no 4K 60 on the front of the rear. You've got it's missing my favorite feature of a Samsung device, portrait video. So, small things aside, this is a win, man. I'll leave a link down below and I'll try to follow up again soon. About a weekend with this thing. Of course, it's great. It's your man Jay. See you in the next one. Take care.